All right, guys, I want to welcome everybody to Thursday night hot seats. Let me get a 1 if you can hear my voice. 1. All right. Let me all right, fantastic. All right, good to see you guys. Dominique, Larry, Jason, Paste, Greg, Matt, Dave Keys is here. Awesome, man. We got a good amount of people here, and there's more people piling in. Fran's here. She's here every office hours. Good to see you, Fran. All right. Well, tonight we got a special guest who comes on pretty often, but he's still special. Brian Williams.
Well, thank you for calling me special. I'm wearing my helmet, so I am special.
All right, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna answer your questions, and we're gonna do some hot seats, and I got a few people lined up, and I really like these hot seats because I get a lot of messages every day, probably 30 to 50 messages on Facebook a day, and a lot of the questions are very similar. Not that they're all important, but a lot of people are asking the same questions. So on these office hours, when we have the hot seats, it's great because you guys get answers to your questions. People who have problems, it helps them maybe have a breakthrough. But also, if you have a question, put it in the question box. We're going to try to get to all the questions, and no matter how simple you think it is, and if we miss it, for some reason, just stick it in there again, because sometimes the questions go by pretty quick. That being said, I just want to bring up one thing. I was having a conversation with somebody on Facebook today, and let me see. I don't know if he's on or not. But, hold on a second. Let me just. And what it was is he was doing a putting up a lead generation site, and he wanted to come on the hot seat, but I have to see. Let me see if I can. I'm just gonna see if I could find him on here. Let's see. Hold on. I don't see him on here right now. All right, let's do this. Let's hit a couple of these questions, and then we'll bring our first hot seat person on. Matt Sarge asks, if I have a PBN and it has some no-follow social sites connected to it, can I send Money Robot links to these two sites, effectively powering up the DA of the PBN? Or will I need to tier the two sites 3 deep first? I mean, you could, so Matt's asking if he could send Money Robot links to his tier 1 social sites that connect to his PBN that are no-follow links. You can. I mean, so the theory is that no-follow links will not pass any penalty. So, I mean, you can. I generally keep Money Robot back on the 3rd tier, whether they're follow or no-follow. But, according to the Network Empire guys, the no-follow links, you can do that. All right. Okay. Let's see. Red Blue. I don't know if that's a real name. Red Blue. They says, I got started a week ago, created a site, even kind of mimic Fletch, ragingleads.com. Not really sure what to do next. Okay, Red Blue, you created a site called ragingleads.com and you're not sure what to do, I need some more information. Like, what is Raging Leads? If I'm reading that right, is it a lead gen site? What kind of leads are you selling? I need a little bit more information. Okay, Joe asks, I have a website which has been negative SEO'd. I can see the spammy anchor text like Viagra, Cialis, but I can't find the links in Webmaster Tools. Ahrefs shows that I have 272 backlinks, while Webmaster Tools only shows 171. And how can I prevent a bulletproof? So, Joe, what you need to check is if your site got hacked. I'll tell you that right now, because if someone's sending Viagra links to your site, they've probably hacked your site, and you probably have some Viagra pages on there that you don't even know about or you can't even see. And then if you have the links in Ahrefs, if you see them there, then you can put those into link detox. You don't just have to use the ones in Webmaster Tools, and then you can get them disavowed that way. But you need to check to see if your site got hacked. And if it did, I would get, if you're not too savvy with web tech, I'd find someone who's good at web programming. There's a bunch of people in the Facebook group, and you might have to pay them a few $100 to fix your site or get rid of those pages. All right. Larry says, I got 1 feed supercharger. When you first start using it, when you add your first feed, are these feeds supposed to be individual articles on your blog, or are we adding a block of articles? That question is really going to be for Network Empire, because that's their tool. But in the short summary, 1 feed supercharger works off of RSS feeds. So if you put an RSS feed from your blog in there, then it'll post social links to it. But say if you have a page, like say you have your Yelp page or your Manta page or some other page that doesn't have an RSS feed, in the Network Empire, in their section, they have a link to a site that will convert any page into an RSS feed. So if you drop that page into that tool, it'll create the RSS feed, and then you can put that into the 1 feed supercharger. Okay, so Yazin says, so my site is a year old, PA17, DA10, and no links was sent, but I sent 2 links, and it's not moving the SERPs on page 5. Okay, so this question again, I don't know what your keyword is or how well your site is on page. I'll tell you this, that sometimes it's going to take more than 2 links to move a site, and it's going to take some time too. Sometimes it takes 30 days for some of these links to take effect, even if they're PBN links. And it's going to depend on how good your site is developed, how the on-page is. There's a lot of different factors. Dustin says, hi, Joe. I have a potential client who wants to rank nationally for tenant screening. I don't have much experience ranking nationally. I rank locally, and it's easy because I can pillow with citations, and that also helps rank. How do I go about ranking nationally in terms of building DA before sending PBNs? It depends. Do you want to rank for do you want to rank for tenant screening, or do you want to rank for tenant screening Iowa, tenant screening, Iowa City, tenant screening Phoenix? If you're going to do that, then you're talking about a much larger site where you're creating pages for each city. And then what I do is I treat each of those pages like it's their own local location. So it really depends on how you want to rank it. Okay, let's go here. Dustin says, David Zillman, just wondering what would be your best tips besides on-page stuff for ranking a new video #1 in YouTube when other videos already are there with a lot of views? And what are their order of importance? Full views, comments in other videos with link backs to yours, Web 2.0 embeds, video likes using YouTube Live, any other tips? I'd say first YouTube Live, run it through YouTube Live, and I would say make sure your description's fully filled out, make sure your keywords in your title, and embeds. I mean, Brian, what do you think? Brian, you do a lot of videos. You got anything to add on that one?
Yeah, definitely follow the YouTube Live strategy. And then I wouldn't worry about how many views other videos have. That's actually really not a major factor in getting ranked. In terms of its relative importance, the number of views is relatively low in terms of its value from an SEO perspective. Far less than getting your video embedded, like Joe was just mentioning, and having your video shared, which you can do, either just by posting, just having your video embedded in various Web 2.0 areas like Tumblr and other Web 2.0 properties. You can use Money Robot for that, or other services. That's going to be more effective. And then also building up the authority of whatever channel you put the videos in. Don't overlook increasing the link building to the YouTube channel itself, and then just publishing a lot of content. Think of the YouTube channel that the videos exist in like a website. So you want to have a lot of content in there, and so create a bunch of videos. Don't just rely on 1 or 2 or 3 videos to make it happen. Plan on a strategy where over maybe a 60 to 90 day time frame, you're going to have 50 to 100 videos in that channel. And if that seems daunting to you, we can talk a little bit about a Fiverr gig strategy for getting videos made relatively inexpensively, or something like that. But I think a lot of people, they'll put a lot of time and effort into a single or a few videos, when it would be better just to keep launching additional content into your channel, and build up the authority, because you'll end up ranking a lot easier if you have a lot more content. And most people don't have that amount of content in a channel on a particular topic, even the guys that have lots of views. So those are some additional suggestions.
All right, yeah, that sounds.
Also, if you want, going back one question to the person who while you were answering questions, Joe, I was doing some Google searches on tenant screening, which I didn't even know was a business until just now, but now I get what it is. There's virtually nobody doing anything very effectively with video for the tenant screening niche, and there's probably a dozen or more really good keywords like tenant screening services and tenant screening reviews and all this stuff that's available there. And that the video marketing for that particular niche looks wide open for the taking. So you might want to start with that as a strategy to help that potential client.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's definitely good advice. And the keyword research and choosing the right keywords is going to be very important to finding those money keywords. But great. All right. So why don't we do a hot seat? I got a few questions answered. I got some more here, but I see Shane is here, and he had messaged me on Facebook. So I want to see if I can bring him live. Shane, do you have a microphone? Yes, he does. So I'll bring him live as soon as I can find him. All right. Brian Dustin says, thanks for the tips on the video marketing.
You got it.
So, all right.
That's what we're here for. The tips are free, baby.
The tips are free. All right, so let's do this. Here's what I want to do. I'm not going to do a bunch of hashtags, but I do want to do one for this hot seat Thursday because I really, really want people to come on for these hot seats because I think it helps people. So if we can just get some in the Facebook group there, if we get some hashtag hot seat Thursdays, and then we'll do some hot seats. Just if we can get some of those hashtags in there, just so people, if they're around, they know that we're doing these hot seats right now. So maybe they, if they want to jump on and hear them or get involved in them. So if we can do that, I'd like to see. There we go. All right, I got a bunch of people running in some hot seats here. I see them doing the hashtags. So let's bring in Shane. Hey Shane, how you doing?
Hey Joe, good. How's it going, guys?
Good, good.
You hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool.
All right. So I know you sent me a message in Facebook, but why don't you just recap for me?
Sure.
What it is.
Okay, so let's say I have a site like cottongrabber.com, my name, for example, and so I purchased a video agency kind of software to plug in or whatever, and I'm wondering, for starters, if just plugging it in and building, it's my first website, so I'm not sure if I want to start it and then find out I'm doing it wrong. But then plugging that in and then building my main site around that and putting that plugin as a subpage or subdomain.
So you have a video agency plugin or product. I mean,
Yeah.
what exactly is that? What does it do?
Well, it came with some videos that you can like for doing little explain-dio type or explainer videos.
Oh, so
And yeah.
Oh, so you're putting, and what does it do? It explains your marketing? Like?
No, it'd be like one of the services, just a few pages that are basically set up for offering video marketing and video production as a service.
Okay. All right.
And then they've got some videos that are included, and then you can just brand them to your, or change them how you want in your video maker. So I want to offer that as a service, and then also Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter software for doing some marketing for that. But I don't know if I should be setting that all up on one site, and as I learn more and more of the SEO, kind of bring that in to the services offered.
Well, so let me see. So you have a site, Shane.com, right? ShaneMarketing.com or whatever it is, and
Sure.
and you have this software that allows people to buy some videos, and then we'll edit the videos to their liking. Are you?
Well, I'll edit the videos to.
You'll edit. So you're selling. So what are you selling? You're selling video services.
Yeah, video services, and then I'll do the SEO on the videos and whatnot. And so that'll be one of the services
Okay.
I'll offer.
Yeah, and then the other thing is going to be social media. You're going to manage Facebook, Twitter pages, and then SEO, and then different things like that.
Yeah, running contests or campaigns for them and their, whatnot, and a lot of the softwares you can program the postings and the campaigns and whatnot. So I want to just start generating some income monthly on stuff like that, and then as I learn more about my SEO, bring that into the picture.
Right. And you want to rank this in the local area? You want to try to rank this nationally?
I'd like to do it nationally, but can I start with local, or is it better just to do it all at once, I guess?
I mean, I don't know.
How would you do it?
Well, for me, and everyone's different. For me, I look at that and I think, okay, you want to start a local marketing agency. You're going to offer video marketing. You're going to offer social media management. Maybe offer web design. Maybe offer SEO. You're going to want all that. You know, if it's my business, I'm going to want that all on one site. If I live in Phoenix, you know, do I want to rank for Phoenix video marketing? I mean, you probably could do it very easy if it was just a page on your site. I mean, is that where people are searching? You know, I don't know. I would say if you want to start a local marketing agency, that you put a site together that's well, you know, that has all your information on there, you know, and then you go out and you go to chamber meetings, you go to network meetings, you go out and you try and get people, you know, and you talk to people.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I mean, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're definitely on the right track. What's your primary service offering? What do you want to sell most of?
Whatever I'm able to do right now, and that's pretty much the basics of you know. I mean, I can sell the mobile sites, and I can do, you know, basic rankings in the 7-pack and whatnot. But I haven't dug into enough of the SEO part of it yet. So that's why I'm thinking video marketing and creation, and the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn thing.
Okay, so my recommendation, especially for anybody listening who's starting out, is to pick a service offering and package it in a way that can be sold, almost thinking of it like a product on a shelf that has a price tag and a shape and a color and a feature benefit list. So, you know, as an example, when I started out on my own in early 2009, I sold only one service, and that was video SEO, and I mastered it. I actually only sold that one service for almost 2 years and nothing else, and built a multiple six-figure business just selling that one service.
Wow.
Yeah. So and I was successful at it because I got really good at it, and I got better and better at offering it, and better at packaging it, and better at delivering it, and I enjoyed it, which also helped. So, and it led to other things. Like, I didn't sell anything else like SEO 7-pack or any of that stuff. I relied on other people to help with that kind of thing if a client wanted that, and I just paid them a fee for helping with that stuff. And it was only sold as an upseller, you know, to an existing customer. So I would suggest packaging a product like that, or a service that you want to sell, and then that you know is in demand, and just go with it like a vengeance, you know. So if you want to sell the video, SEO, and production, great, you know, make that your business, you know, and start doing that service for yourself. You have examples, and you'll get better and better at it, and then you can market it. And I mean, I literally still do have clients that pay thousands of dollars a month just for that service.
For video and ranking the videos.
That's it. Yeah.
Sorry, video production and ranking. Yeah.
That's right. And buy it as a standalone service. Yes. So, yeah. So, you know, that's something you could do if you're going to do the, you know, some people I know are going after businesses that need help with their mobile sites, right? Because they're not mobile optimized. Right. You know, that's fine too, but I would focus on that, right? Because you've got a world of opportunity if that's your focus, and you could, you know, instead package that as a service. What I would not do is, I would not be vague. I would really, you know, sell this service like a product on a shelf is my advice for you and anybody starting out. And then once you start getting a client base doing that, then maybe start branching off into some other areas.
Okay, so you're just gonna, in that case, if I was just doing the production and ranking, video production and ranking, then my site is just Shane, or would I would it be good to do my general site, as in Cotton Grammar, and then add my products as I go?
That's right.
Versus doing a video site.
Yeah, I don't think you need to change your site name at all. I'll give you an example that you're aware of. I'll give you a couple examples. Amazon.com started as what?
Oh, it's been so long. I forget.
Right, you would forget. But they only sold one product for a very long time when they started. And I think it was their first maybe 3 or 4 years, all they sold were books.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's it. And we forget this, right? Because now Amazon is much more than just that, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't have to, but they started acquiring customers and success and creating a brand for themselves by delivering on the promise of selling books. Yeah. And then they started branching out into, to branch out, what they did, just to refresh your memory if you're as old as I am in this business, is they didn't sell electronics or clothing or things like that themselves. They partnered with other brands, like Target was one they partnered with. They partnered with Toys R Us, and they put like a Toys R Us e-commerce store and a Target e-commerce store inside of the Amazon frame. And, and that's how they got into selling other product categories outside of books. And it wasn't until probably their 8th or 9th year of business, maybe even later, when they started selling outside the book category themselves.
Right.
And now
they had already
they're
got the traffic. So.
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry about, selling a single-minded service that delivers the promise of generating traffic and leads for clients in the form of a video or in the form of a mobile site or in the form of SEO. It doesn't matter what you sell it in the form of. Ultimately, you're doing the same thing all of us are doing, which is delivering valuable leads to your customers. And that's what they're paying for.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, guys.
I mean, like my site is just called 3-Stage Marketing, and it just has the services I do on them. Oh. But, like Brian was saying, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. Brian's got some gold nuggets he's going to share with us. But
yeah, the other stuff I just talked about, those are like bronze nuggets.
Yeah, that's the bronze. Those are like silver nuggets. but the thing too is that sometimes we think like, oh, we have to rank like in 30 cities for video marketing, and I'm going to get all these people, that are going to call me because my site's up for video marketing, San Francisco. And, I mean, that's one strategy. But, in your local area, there's so many people that need your service. And so, by defining what you're doing, like Brian said, and going out there and actually talking to people, and offering your service, I mean, that's where you make the contacts. That's where you get the referrals. Like the way I started was my big thing that I've done is I've bought, I've sold, I've built businesses since in my 20s. So when I started this online marketing, what I offered was almost like a business consulting. Like I would come in and figure out, well, what's not working in their business. They need to fix their website. They need to get more presence online. And I would kind of put the pieces together for them. But that was my strength, and that's what I offered,
Yeah. Makes
so.
Sense. Yeah. Just another question.
Yeah.
Real quick. So, I had registered another name with Google My Business, and that was and so I talked to someone about the name, and they were like, yeah, but you're going to have to explain that name to everybody each time. It was like an acronym or something, SEO.com. And he said, well, you're going to have to explain that each time. What's that mean? So I decided to just go with my name, basically. Do I need to, like, contact Google and say, hey, or like, forget that name, I'm going to do another one with a different name.
Wait, so you have your Google Marketplace is already verified with a different name?
Well, they didn't actually send me the postcard. I've been waiting for it, and it hasn't come. So
just change the name and then they'll send you a new postcard.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's that easy. Eh? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. As long as it's going to your address, just change the name, and then
Yeah.
They should send you a new postcard. You know, when I first started, man, I stressed over the name. You know, and I came up with 3-stage marketing because it was so cool. Because there's 3 stages to a business making, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it's, you know, if you know what you're talking about, and like Brian says, you can deliver the service, that's what matters.
Right. Yeah.
And Brian, what's the name of your business?
Well, Marketing Solutions is the primary name that I use in business. But it doesn't really, it kind of doesn't matter. You know, I have had businesses that, in fact, the business I started with the video marketing, I named after an alpine lake that I like to backpack into that has nothing to do with our industry at all.
Right.
It's a lake in the middle of the Sequoia National Forest that no one's ever heard of, probably, unless they backpack. And I just named it, you know, the Lake Name Partners. And that was my brand for my initial video SEO company, and it worked just fine. So
I mean, you know, the name I almost went with was Orange Snowman Marketing. And the reason why is it wasn't even, I didn't even come up with the name, someone told me it, but it was so people would remember me. You're right, you're gonna remember Orange Snowman, you know.
Yeah.
So all right, well, did that help you out, Shane?
Yeah, totally. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, so yeah, just let us know if you have any more questions. Hopefully it sets you going in the right direction there.
Yeah, it totally helps. I appreciate it. And can I, as far as doing my citations, do I need to have the domain up before I start doing that, or?
I would.
Yeah, I would too, because if you put it in the citation and somebody checks it, you know, they're not going to approve it.
Yeah, what you want before you have your citations is you want to have your phone number, you want to have your address, you want to have your website address, you want to have, you know, the business owner name and all that, which is probably you. What other profile status? You want to have a photograph, you know, a good headshot of you.
Right.
You may want to have a logo or some other photo you can put up in there. And ideally, you'd have at least one video that you could post in some of these areas as well. I would say that, but I would probably want that.
I'm gonna put it up on my YouTube channel and connect them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the video too, even if it's just something real simple to start.
Yeah.
And that's a good point Brian made, is get all your pictures in line.
Because you're going to want to have a good profile, and you want to have that profile photo, the main profile photo, I keep it the same everywhere. So.
Right. Yeah, so it's easy to recognize you. And the logo, put it up everywhere you can, right? On all your profiles or whatever.
And
$100, get a nice picture of yourself.
Yeah. Get someone who's good at Photoshop to make it look better.
That was an error. I need a lot of airbrushing myself, so
All right. So if I get the website domain registered and pointed and whatnot, and if it's in development, can I just say, well, this is, you know, shows this site's under construction or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, just get something up like.
Citations though are going to check, like, you know. Apple Maps is going to do a check. Yelp is going to check. Google's going to check. You know, possibly. So you want to really, I wouldn't put under construction per se. I mean, have your stuff on the site that is important for the citation in advance. So
okay.
I mean, the way we did Iowa City SEO is we put it on a simple theme. Greg put up about 4 pages of content. And then we started the citations.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to, if it's checked, that it's like, oh, okay, you know, it's for $5, $10 a page, you can get it written. And then that way you look like a legitimate business. Like Brian says, sometimes they check.
Yeah.
I had Bing deny me before for stupid. It was like a dumb reason, but they checked my site and they're like, oh, So that's one thing you want to make sure you do.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it has to be perfect, right? And the thing I don't want people to get bogged down with is like thinking their site has to be absolutely perfect before they get started.
Right.
Because then you can be like 2 months down the road and not done anything.
Great point.
Yeah, you get paralyzed.
All right, Shane. Thanks a lot.
Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, man. So hopefully you guys got some good info out of that. All right. Let's how about we hit a few more of these questions, then we'll see if we bring somebody else on for the hot seat. Let's see. Norman asks, do you guys use foreign domains for PBNs? Any opinions on foreign domains? I try to stay away from them because I don't know what they're saying. And if I want to rank something in English, it may look funny that I have a domain with a bunch of foreign links on them. Larry says, I saw in Greg's Iowa City SEO series that he used Google as an authority site to link to. Where on Google would it be linked to? I am a little confused. I don't know what he linked to on Google. Maybe he linked. Maybe I don't know, Larry. I don't really know. I didn't see that part of the video. I mean, if you want to link out to authority link and say you're doing, you're selling mushrooms, I don't know, or plumbing or whatever. You just Google it and then find an authority site and then link to it. Lloyd says, can you give a few examples of how to monetize my city guide site? So my city guide was, this was back, Project X and J, I think is when they, last year, would be like a Nashville city guide, right? Where you rank it for different terms. You could monetize it by, if you ranked the plumbing page and then, you sold the leads off that plumbing page or you rented that plumbing page to a plumber. Or you can do like insurance, like My City Insurance, and you could sell those leads to a CPA service, which is cost per action. They'll pay you like $10, $15 a lead. It just depends on what your goal is. If you want to do marketing and, you want to make money as fast as you can, I would say, try to go and get some clients. But I never did put up a My City Guide site. Anyway, all right. So Larry asks, how do social properties work for a Facebook page, for instance? I'm an affiliate, but I want to be an SEO expert as well. So should I have two different fan pages, one for my affiliate site as my pen name and another referring to my SEO business? Larry, I have a Facebook page for every business I have. So if I'm selling an affiliate product, I have an SEO page for that. If I have a lead gen site, I have a Facebook page for that. If I do, so I have a Facebook page for each of the services that I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a bunch of people that asked a whole bunch of follow-up questions to the video conversation that I can answer kind of all in a
hit it up.
So a bunch of you are asking, how do you get started with the video? Should you go out and buy a DSLR camera? Should you have somebody else film? How do you get started? There's so many different ways you can get started. The way I got started is I used my webcam on my laptop computer, which, was because I had no money. So, and in fact, it wasn't even my laptop. It was a borrowed laptop from my friend Eric, truth be told. And I made my first videos using the webcam on his Dell laptop computer, and that's how I obtained my first $5,000 a month client, using my webcam. So so that's one way to start. Now, if you aren't strapped for cash like I was when I started, which I was really strapped for cash, obviously. Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point, I've got a couple of DLSR cameras that I have personally that I'll use to shoot in my home office. I have a green screen. If I could show you my office, one of my walls in my office is a green screen, essentially, that I had made. I covered my closets in this room in my home office with a green screen. And so I'll shoot videos myself in here with some lights and things like that. So, you know, you can use I like the if you're going to get a DLSR, I like the Canon T series. I think they are on the T5 right now, or maybe the T6. It's an inexpensive choice that you can plug in an external microphone. It takes great video. I've used it on lots of on professional shoots. But I don't do a lot of filming myself anymore. Because it's time consuming. I don't like to do my own editing. So I have a creative director who is a professional videographer that works for me, and he does almost all of my filming now. But what I do is I pay him what he wants, and I pass all those costs on to my client. So if I'm doing high-end work, and he wants $3,000 or $4,000 to do the video and do all the editing, I just include that in my fee to my customer, and so I can get the high-end video. But for a lot of what you're going to do to get started, you don't need that. Literally, you can get started like I did with a webcam, or your phone camera. Like if you have a good smartphone, most of the cameras on the new smartphones are good enough to make good quality videos now. And you can buy all kinds of accessories like external mics, tripod devices and things like that to hold the camera. The main thing is hold the camera steady on a fixed device like a tripod or a mini tripod, and plug in, if you can, an external microphone so that there's no ambient noise coming from the room you're in. You know, either like a clip-on lapel mic. If you Google on Amazon, or if you Amazon search like lapel microphone clip-on, you'll find one. I can't remember the brand, but there's one out there for like $20, and it's great. I have like 10 of them because I always misplace them because they're so small, but they work really well. So that's the only microphone you really need if you're going to do video yourself. So don't get too hung up on the equipment. You know, you don't have to overcomplicate it. I literally used my webcam in the beginning, and you know, because I could rank the video, it didn't matter. You know, it's like, you know. So, but if you have a client, I'll just start out there, that demands a pro level, you know, like Hollywood studio type quality, and you're lost as to how to get that done, just Facebook message me, and I can help you out with that. You know, I recently finished a project for the Boy Scouts of America. They paid me $10,000 just to make a video. They don't even want to rank. They just wanted a great video. So they paid $10,000 to have a really great video made for them, which we produced, and it's brilliant. I'll put a link to it up in our group soon, so you guys can see it. But you know, we can, you know, if you don't get stuck on that. You know, just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what people pay for video. Amazing, like what they pay for videos. And you know, like that, what Brian said, when I first started, I had a camera that had a microphone jack, and you know, it wasn't super high quality. I don't even think it cost me but a couple $100. I don't even remember what it was. But I just figured
it's probably the Z series. Those were popular when you started.
It was like a Canon. It was like a palm camera.
Okay.
But yeah, it was something like that. And you know, I didn't care because it was going on YouTube, so it wasn't like, the thing I was worried about was the sound. So I bought a really good microphone.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find this mic. It works really good.
I got the one I got is like, I still use it. It's so good. But I think last week I showed people some of those videos, my first videos that I made. When I first started, it's Leighton Dental. He's retired and sold his practice, but his videos are still up. If you just YouTube Leighton Dental in Encinitas, California, you'll see some of his videos. He was a holistic dentist. And I shot all those videos with just a simple camera and microphone. And then later on, by my networking, I met a video guy who did awesome videos, and I did what Brian did. I just charged, you know, I mean, he was selling them to me so cheap. I like quadrupled the price. But
I just put a link in the chat to the microphone I was referring to on Amazon. It's $27.95, and it works really good.
All right. So maybe what we'll do is get to hit some of these questions. So I'll start stacking up here. And Brian, you see any questions here you want to shout out, or you want just let me know. So Larry was asking about doing social properties, work for a Facebook page, for instance. I'm an affiliate. Oh, no, I answered that one already. Vince is asking about these postcards, using one postcard instead of two for Google Plus. Please explain. I don't know what you're referring to, Vince. Was that on this webinar, or was it a different one? If you're talking about the forwarding, the address forwarding, or just explain that a little more, what you mean. Red Blue says, I'm trying to do day job killing, not lead gen. All right. I mean, that domain you had, it was called something like, what's that domain? You know, I don't know what the question was, because you just gave me ragingleads.com. So if you're doing day job killing, then that means you want to go out and get some clients, right? So what is, you got to expand on your question a little bit. All right, so Larry's asking about linking out. Greg talked about linking out to a social property in reference to a PBN, but would you link to a social property from your money? All right, if I had a money site, the social properties that I'm going to link out to are going to be my social properties that are related to my money site. My Facebook, my Twitter, my YouTube, my LinkedIn, that are in relationship to my money site. And, you know, that's it. I know there's a lot of people who have PBNs, and I know Greg does it too, is sometimes he'll throw a high authority link. You know, he'll link out to a high authority property to kind of give his PBN or his website, showing that, you know, hey, kind of associates that site with these high authority sites. That's it. You can either do it or not, but it's really that simple. Let's see. Lloyd asks, when doing SEO for a client, do you rewrite their content to add keywords? How do you get the username and password from the current webmaster? Yeah. Sometimes it's very hard because the webmasters are not always amicable. But usually when I take on a client, I redo their website, and I definitely redo their content because, one, it's usually not set up for conversion, and two, it's not good for on-page SEO either. So I usually have a writer, and then we usually replace the content on the pages. And also, if you're doing SEO, you have to, you know, it's very important that you're able to make edits on the website, because you got to edit the title tag, the metadata. So going in, that's what I tell people. I says, listen, I need access to your site. I I basically at this point I won't even take them on as a client if we don't redo their site. But if you're just starting out, you have to at least get access to their site so you could change some of the metadata. I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would put on the onus on the owner of the business to get that information for you. And sometimes I redo their whole site if it needs it, which often it does. And when I say I do it, I don't do that because I would shoot myself building websites. So I have a guy that does them for me. And again, I just pass that fee on to my client as part of my service. And then, yeah, but you need to have access to their hosting account if they have one, their cPanel if they have it, their FTP if they have it, and if they can't or won't give it to you, then just rebuild the thing. And as long as they have access to their domain name, then you can relatively easily restart everything. And I've never had an issue. I mean, sometimes it's taken a couple of reminders, but usually when they write a $5,000 or a $10,000 check, they're going to pretty much do what you tell them to do, because they believe, and it's true, that what you're telling them to do is going to help them. So get value for their investment. I don't know.
I actually have a Google Doc, or it's like a something when we send out to the clients, and it asks for all that information. So,
cool. Can you share that? You're holding out on me again here, Joe.
I am. It's like I'll share it. It's like it's a Google Doc, but it's a weird. Somebody made it for me. It's like so people could. To them, it looks like a form, and then it comes back to me as a Google Doc. So I'll share that. I'll share that too. I always got something.
We talk all the time. You hear all this great stuff. I learn something new every time. All right. So we're right at about an hour. Man, it's been flying by. Let's see if we got another hot seat here. I know I got message on Facebook from some people who wanted a hot seat. So if you messaged me, man, I just don't want to. I mean, I'm going to try to get to every single question too. All right, let's go down there and see what we got here. Come on, my question box is jumping around. All right, let's see here. I got somebody messaged me as soon as we got on that wanted to do a hot seat. Let me see if he's still on. And I'm not even trying to pronounce his name. Well, I'm going to try, but Gaurav, Gaurav. If you have a mic, just let me know and I will unmute you, because I know you sent me a message on Facebook. Yasmin, I see you too. I'll get you next. All right, let's get him on here. Let me ask you guys liking these hot seats? Give me a 1 if you like them. Give me a 2 if you don't. Be honest. Like, if you put a 2 in there, I'm not going to be like, oh, and kick you off, right? I just may never bring you on for a hot seat. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Let me find. Here he is. Hey, how do you pronounce your name?
It's Goro.
Goro, and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cincinnati, Ohio.
All right, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, good to have you here. Me and Brian.
Welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you.
All right. So what's your question?
Okay. Just in the last couple of weeks, I signed on a freight logistics client to generate some leads for them, but they want me to build out the sites that they already have. These are EMDs, but they are brand new EMDs. And the way freight logistics works is that everything is a very national term because they're just brokers between two agents, merchandisers and suppliers. So I'm going up against pretty high domain authority sites, and I just wanted to know how I could proceed to handle that and to develop a strategy behind that.
So they have EMDs for just certain aspects of their business,
Yes.
and obviously your competition with high authority sites have it all on one domain or one site.
Yes, exactly. So like an EMD would be like a full truck load rate. I can type that into the question box. Well,
I mean, if you, all right, so I mean, you can go about it two ways. If you build out an authority site, in the end, it's going to, you know, it's going to take, it might take longer to rank, but as you rank for each of these terms, it's going to get easier, right? So like, if you're ranking full truckload rate, right? So you're ranking that page and you're sending PBNs and you're sending authority links to that page. Then say you have another keyword on a different page and you're sending a link to that. As you do that, you're going to build authority on that site. But it's definitely going to take, it may take longer to rank than if you had you know, exact match domain that was fulltruckloadrate.com.
yeah, that's what we have. That's exactly what we have.
Yeah, so that one is going to rank, you know, that would probably rank faster in the beginning.
Okay.
But now if you got, say, how many of these EMDs do they have?
They have about 5 that they want to rank.
So they got 5. So, you know, you're going to be spending a lot of resources to rank these 5, you know, these 5 sites, and in the end, they're all going to have 1/5 the authority that you would have if you had one site.
Gotcha. Okay.
But again, it's speed for, you know, later down authority, and I say this a lot. There's no absolutes. There's only trade-offs, and so you got to figure out what trade-off works the best for your situation. And now the other thing, which I'm sure Brian will probably say too, is you can rank other stuff. You know, you can try to rank videos or other sites on you know, on the page.
Okay.
I mean, Brian. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying the best service to the client would be better for me to suggest that we focus on their main website and really build that out, or should we really go after these kind of lead gen kind of sites, EMD sites, for their business in the long run? I guess it's probably what they're.
I mean, in the long run, if you build up the authority on their site, it's going to be, you know, in my opinion, it's going to be better.
Okay.
But and you really got to look at the true competition. So I mean, even though there's high authority sites ranking, you know, are those pages that are ranking, do they have the keyword in the title? Do they have the keyword in the description? You know,
Okay.
you know, how optimized are those pages? I mean, you can have a site like Wikipedia rank, but you can outrank them very easy because they're just there because of the authority and they're optimized a little bit. But if you're optimized a lot, even though you don't have an authority, as much authority, you can overtake them.
Okay, that really helps.
And this is a good question too. You can ask on one of Greg's office hours. I think he's having them. He still has them once a week. But I would find out what their goal is. What did you already close the deal? Like, are they already paying you, or they can pay you per keyword?
Yeah, they're already paying me. So yeah, the deal's already closed. That's why I'm kind of like, I need to figure out the best approach
to
move
go
forward. Yeah.
Yeah, because in my opinion, Google rewards authority and brand, and if you can wrap all that branding into one site, then in the long run, I think you're going to withstand a lot of updates. And that's why my lead gen sites, for example, I used to use only EMDs. I had one that had 50 EMDs up, and I could put the site up and it'd be on page 1, like in 2 days. And then there was an update, and all my sites fell out of nowhere. So now I concentrate all my energy into one site, and I build that authority, but it's not quick.
Okay.
It's not like in 2 months, I'm going to rank. For example, like in my one lead gen area, I have some EMDs that I'll use in bigger cities that I'll get ranked in a couple of months. And then coming up behind me is my big site. So I kind of use them both. But my big site is what's eventually going to take over that EMD, and it's going to stay there longer.
Okay, that's a great idea, actually. Thank you, Joe. That really helps.
And then, yeah.
One more question. Do you ever use like paid search to initially drive some leads and stuff to your sites?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Brian just did a comment on that. I know Brian does that. I do that and retargeting. You should definitely look at doing retargeting for them, because retargeting will amplify any leads you get, any visitors, because it follows them around the web.
Okay, gotcha.
But let me see, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of using, if you've got enough profit in your fee structure, and hopefully you do, I definitely recommend priming the pump with some paid advertising, especially once you have some pages up that you want to rank for, because when you drive the paid advertising to those pages, it'll test if those pages are going to convert into phone calls or lead fill-out forms. And if they're not converting on the paid advertising, they're probably not going to convert on organic traffic either. So you have an opportunity to tweak those pages while you're working to rank them. And a couple of tips when you're doing the paid advertising. One is to make sure that if you're generating a phone lead, to use a call tracking phone number that not only records the caller ID and the phone number and all that, so you can see if calls are generated in quantity, but a service that also records the phone conversation that happens between the lead and the client.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to use CallFire for that. So
can you
kind of like what?
Yeah, you can use CallFire. I've used probably every system out there.
Okay.
CallFire is fine. And listen to those calls. So you'll be, well, sometimes I'm shocked how the client answers the phones. And the way they answer the phone could kill your leads instantly.
Okay. Got it.
So don't be afraid to call them up and say, hey, you received a call today, and here I want you to hear the recording and how it was answered. And I've actually helped cause clients to fire salespeople because of that. But for
Okay.
But for good reason, because the salesperson was an asshole, or to a prospect, So, but that's not the real purpose of it. But it's important, and then your client will appreciate you more for that too.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing, like Joe said, is I don't send any traffic, especially paid traffic, to a page that does not have usually multiple retargeting pixels on it. So I use them all: Facebook, Google, AdRoll, Perfect Audience. I get them all, and I am
Okay.
I'm building retargeting lists like crazy right now. So.
Okay.
Even if you don't
I didn't
run,
even think about that. So.
even if you don't run retargeted ads initially, still put the pixels on the page so you have the pixels firing, because you could use them at another time.
Okay.
All right. Well, all right. Can you just say your name again for me?
Yeah, Goro. You can call me G too if you want.
Goro. All right, because Goro just.
There's people wondering if you took this call from underwater today.
Oh, really? Does it sound that bad?
We're getting some. It sounds like we're getting some background music, but it's okay.
That's all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, in the office.
It's all good.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot. And then I'm going to just mute you here. Did we get all your questions?
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Let me just hit mute. Yeah. Also, I mean, that retargeting, I know I've gotten some questions here. I did some videos. I don't know if David put them up or not. They're just real simple ones on AdRoll. And what a pixel is, someone's asking about pixel. It's basically what you're doing is you're dropping a cookie on people's computers and you're building a target. So when you drop that cookie or that pixel, they actually become a target, and then you can advertise to them. And if you go to something like AdRoll, it's very easy to use. I mean, it's easy enough, and they have training. They'll even assign you somebody to help set up your campaigns. And for a business like even that business, where the trucking or someone that that retargeting is going to come into play, because people are going to see the guy's ads over and over again, and it's pennies. It's like pennies. So
yeah, I'm putting a couple of links in the chat here of some retargeting services. I put AdRoll in there, Perfect Audience in there. And like Joe said, if you sign up for these services, you'll get a rep, and they'll help you figure all this out. And they've got good training videos on their websites that'll help you to understand how the whole process works.
And yeah, because then AdRoll is pretty picky. Like AdRoll is the best. I think like they get the best placements and they have the best partnerships. But man, I mean, and it's great for local. But if you try doing affiliate stuff with AdRoll, sometimes it's hard because they have all these rules.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Perfect Audience is a little more lenient.
You got to use you basically have to use. Well, I don't know if we have time to go into all this now, but the two-step lead gen process when you're doing affiliate marketing. So,
yeah,
you're sending someone to a content page or a blog page or a blog post about whatever, generating the pixel from content, and then later on going back to offer your product. So, yeah, that's a whole 2-hour training. That's a whole
or more.
or more. Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you're interested in doing retargeting for a client, check out AdRoll, give them a call, watch some videos, and they'll walk you through the process.
Absolutely.
That's how I learned. So that can help you out. So let's see. Let's get a couple more. Let's knock out a couple more of these questions, and then we'll bring on Yasmin. So I had someone ask a question here, but they left. Jason Paist, P-A-I-S-T. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I'm going to answer in case he listens on the replay. Okay, he says, I'm trying to rank for a town for my eye care practice. I have a one-page PBN going to the internal URL. If I create more pages on the PBN going to the same URL, would that help rankings for that city? this is a good question for Greg when he does his training. Here's what I do. I send, right now with my PBNs, I send one link to one site, and that's it. Because, I mean, even though you're on another page and you're sending a link to the same site, it's coming from the same domain. So I don't know. Will you get a little bit of benefit? Maybe. I like to send one link to one site is what I do. Larry asks, if you win the bid on a PBN, how do you receive it? Store it, and how long can you let it sit before you do something with it? Larry, there's training on there on PBNs. Greg goes over all of this. Basically, what they're going to do is they're going to put it into your registrar account, and then I would put up some kind of theme on there with some content as soon as you can. You don't want to let it sit too long with no content on it. Tony says, if you feel like your anchor text for your site is not good, what do you do? Greg said in his webinar Q&A not to change it. How do I get around this? Tony, it depends on what's wrong with the anchor text. Is it that you're over-optimized? Like, do you have too many San Diego, say your site's on San Diego plumbing, do you have too many San Diego plumbing links? Then I would say just add more branded links. You know, get some more links from Web 2.0s, maybe some citations, maybe some other PBNs that are naked links, meaning just URL, or branded links that's just the brand. What he was saying not to do is if you have a PBN and your anchor text on the PBN is San Diego plumber, then, you know, change that anchor text to Joe's Plumbing, right? You don't want to change the anchor because people don't do that. That's not natural. Only SEO people do that. So what you can do is you can kill that link maybe, and then just, you know, wait a couple of months and then add another link or add another page on there. But that's what he was saying is you don't want to change the link because it'll throw up a flag in Google. Okay. Let's see. And then also, Brian, if you see any questions, just let me know.
Okay, let me comb through some here.
All right, so Michelle, I think that's how you pronounce the name, says, never learned what is a no-follow or follow link, and what are your implications? No-follow link means that it's a link coming from a site, and they're saying they're not passing any link juice or authority. So that's no-follow, like Yelp is a no-follow link. So technically, people say, well, no-follow links don't mean anything because they don't pass on any authority, but you know they do. But they just and supposedly no-follow links will not pass on penalties or over-optimization. Where do-follow links will pass on authority, and they will pass on over-optimization and different things like that. When Greg talked about the more links you have on your homepage, the more you're losing link juice. What that means is, say you have a PBN, and link juice is the power of that PBN. So if you think about it like a gallon of water, right, and you poke a hole in there, you're going to be losing, I mean, this might not be the best illustration, but you're losing some water, right? Maybe you're losing a little bit of water. And then now if you poke 10 holes in there, you're going to be losing it a lot faster. So the more links you have, the more link juice that's going to be leaving your site. Now, it's not like a gallon of water where it's all going to come out, but it's going to reduce the value of each one of those links. So, you know, if you have one link, maybe it's passing on, you know, 100%. If you're doing 5, then split that 100% 5 ways. So that's what he's talking about. Vince asks, SendWire question, do you have to embed the links to SendWire before it goes live? If I'm using Wirecast and screw up the trimming at the end, the links are already embedded. I'm screwed, right? Okay, so no. When you if you're trimming it in YouTube, you can trim it and then retrim it and trim it again. Like you can make it shorter and then you can make it longer. It's not permanent. So you could change the length of that video as many times as you want. And then SendWire, you do embed it. They have a section where you can put the embed code, and then it'll automatically embed it. Red asks, will you still buy PBNs if it's not indexed? It depends. I usually don't. I usually like to see at least one page indexed. I mean, if you're going to buy it and it's not indexed, you really have to look at what the site was, go in the Wayback Machine, see what the site was before, and really look at those links. Sometimes they're not indexed because they're old, but I have bought some that were not indexed, and I was able to get them indexed. But in the end, buying them with at least one page indexed is much, much safer and easier, because you don't want to spend money on something and then spend 6 months trying to get an index again. Yazin asks if I use Surfshaker. I use it for certain applications. I don't recommend it as your primary money getting technique. These big giant lead gen sites, if you have these, you build out these huge 20,000 page sites, they work for a time, they work for certain things, but if you need to make money now and you want to build a business, then I would tell you, go out and get some clients. And I wouldn't even be messing around with these huge sites. Okay, so Jason asks, can you give some advice on focus? I joined OMG in October 2014, and I'm constantly changing my focus. 1 second I want to do client consulting. The next I want to do Amazon, another lead gen. It's just hard to stay focused with all the great information. I understand it's important to have a breakthrough with one thing, then move on. Just want some advice on this. Here's what I would say, and I want to hear what Brian, what you have to say, because I know this is one of your specialties. For me, there's a lot of stuff in OMG, and it can get overwhelming. Lead gen, Amazon, affiliate, and I've talked a lot about this on my other office hours. Is there's a lot of paths you can take. The problem is when you start down a path and turn around and then start down another one, you never get anywhere. And if your goal is to make money, what's going to put money in your bank account the fastest? What is going to make you money the fastest? Right? What's going to help you set up your business the fastest? What's going to help you get your machine, so to say, running smoothly and spitting out money? Okay, for me it was client consulting. I got clients. From there, then I was able to get a web designer. I was able to get a video guy. I was able to get my outsourcers because these clients paid for it. And then once that was set up, once my machine was all there, once I had my web guy, once I had my outsourcers that can make my videos and create my content, etc., I added affiliate because it was easy. It was just, I already had it set up. I said, okay, we're going to do this Venus Factor site, and boom, boom, and then it went up. But I already had money coming in. So, I mean, what do you think about that, Brian?
Yeah, I think our first webinar we did in OMG together, we talked about focus. I don't know what date that was, but I would recommend going back a few months or whatever it was and listening to that webinar where I walk through a technique in order to get focused. But that said, it's really important to pick your battle, pick a battle and win it. And then you can apply technique, different OMG technique to winning it, but definitely would not recommend, you know, starting an Amazon business and a lawyer SEO business and a video SEO business and an affiliate marketing business all together, you know, or whatever it is you're interested in. So pick something that is going to enable you to achieve your financial and lifestyle objectives in a period of time that is acceptable for you, which pretty much could be anything that's being talked about in OMG, but then stick with that before branching out into other areas. You know, when I started, all I did was video SEO. That's all I did, and I did that for 2 years until I started thinking about doing other things. And it's, you know, and even with, you know, a lot of you know I do work with Amazon sales. You know, I've been consulting with Amazon sellers for almost 2 years now, and I have not yet sold a single Amazon product of my own to this day. And it's not going to be until about 3 or 4 more weeks from now when I launch my own very first Amazon product. So, because had I got distracted by launching my own Amazon brand, I would not be effective in my consulting with my clients. So you've got to really, you know, you don't want to stack too much on yourself at one time. You know, this is not, none of this is going to go away. So there's no urgency in trying to do all of this at once. The only urgency is your own personal success objectives that you have for yourself, which are probably a combination of financial and lifestyle, which you can achieve with anything that you decide to focus on here. So focus on something and don't get distracted. Stop buying products, you know, just get it done, you know. And if you're in the consulting business, the first thing you need is clients. So focus on that. If you're having trouble getting clients, practice and ask questions until you figure that out. You know, if you're in the affiliate business, you need to know how to drive traffic to affiliate products. So focus on that until you can get that down pat. You know, if you're in the lead gen business, focus on generating leads every way possible you can generate leads, through paid advertising, through retargeting, through SEO, you know, until you get good at that, until you master it. And any one of these things could take months or longer to really hone in on until you're ready to branch out, possibly. And you may never branch out. You know, I have friends that picked a niche 5, 6 years ago, and they're still only working in the same niche, you know, 6, 7 years later, making millions of dollars in a single boring niche. But it's making them tons of money, and they have a great lifestyle doing it. So they're good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Look at Cotton. I mean, I think he said he made $300,000 last month, and he only does one thing. You know, he does SEO for people. So, but he's hyper focused. So, you know, that's important. Now, Brian, I got a few people asking about that Fiverr gig.
Yeah, I saw that. So let me talk about that, because it's really quite simple. You know, and I see some people asking, you know, like, you know, who's my Fiverr guy or gal? I don't have one. So basically, so you might want to, if you don't have anything that you're writing with, you might want to get it now. So I'm going to give you a little bit of like a 4 or 5 step process here for how I go about making videos using Fiverr gigs.
Is this the gold nugget?
No, that wasn't the one we talked about. But this might be a little gold. I don't know.
This is a gold nugget. So this isn't even the gold nugget we talked about.
If you want to know how I do this, you can write this down. So there's a few components that make a video, right? Number one is you have a voiceover. Actually, I'm going to back up a step. Number one, you have a script, and that's where it ought to begin. Every single video that you do ought to begin with a script, a written script. Now, you can go to Fiverr and find people that will write you a script. I have not had success doing that because the scripts I get back are horrible. So I write my own scripts. I'll give you a simple outline for how you can write a script. Number one, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Brian Williams. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. 2, ask a question that begs to the problem that you're going to solve. Something like, I don't know if you're like me, suffering from chronic lower back pain. Now, whatever it is you're selling, right? So ask a question that begs a problem that you're going to solve. Number 3, talk about a little bit about the frustration or the journey that you went through to fix the problem, but it wasn't necessarily working well. Man, I tried dozens of things from shots to chiropractors to pills to stretching. Nothing seemed to fix my lower back pain until, and then the next part is you're gonna reveal like something that you discovered. Until I discovered what I'm about to tell you, what I'm about to show you. And then the next part is to reveal the benefit of what you discovered. When I discovered what I'm about to show you, my back pain, my lower back pain was nearly gone within minutes. And I'm excited to share with you what this discovery is. And then you can reveal the solution, the hero, okay, whatever it is, okay, the stretch, the person, the pill, the food, I don't know, whatever it is that's going to solve the problem. Okay, I discovered this, and it's Acme cream, and it's awesome, and you can get it, and you can get it, here. So then you're going to then you close with your call to action. Here's how you get the Acme cream. You go to www.acmecream.com and put it, and then if you have, and then after that, if you have an offer, you can even sweeten the deal, saying right now, for everybody watching this video, you can get half off by entering this coupon code on the shopping cart page. So don't forget to go to acmecream.com and enter this coupon code. I hope this was helpful for you. It certainly was for me. So there's your formula for writing a very simple script. You can do this for affiliate products. You can do this for local businesses. You can do this for Amazon products. You can do this for pretty much anything you want. So that's how I kind of write my scripts. Don't overcomplicate it. You want to make it short. You want to make it like, if you're typing up on a sheet of paper, maybe no more than a half a page of copy, probably less, because that's going to put you at about a minute to a minute and a half. And your call to action could be a phone call too, by the way, especially if you're doing local or if you're doing lead gen, because that's really what you want typically. So that's number one, is the script. Write it yourself or try to find somebody on Fiverr to write it. Number 2 is you need to have your script read in the high-quality audio file with good sound and no background noise, not sounding like you're in a swimming pool. So there, you could go to Fiverr, and what you want to search for is voiceover. I know this is high-level stuff. And then I just sort the results by highest rated, and I try to find a voiceover or multiple voiceover artists there that are going to relate to my demographic. So I can't tell you who to hire because it's going to vary based on whatever you're selling. Sometimes I want a British accent female, or I want a Hispanic accent male, or I want a American accent young person. It depends on what you're selling. or I want an American accent, older person voice. So you got to kind of look through there and find, and they all have sample of their work. It doesn't really matter who you hire. It just matters that they are as close to matching your market as possible. You know, if your demographic is a 50-year-old woman, then try to find a 50-year-old sounding woman that can do your voiceover. And don't be afraid to have her say, if your name is, let's say, Jackie, don't be afraid to have that in the script. Hi, my name is Jackie, and I live in Las Vegas. That's okay. Have the professional read that. That's what they're hired to do. It's called acting, and that's okay. The other thing you can do, if you want to avoid the voiceover part, is you can go right to spokesperson. You can Fiverr search the term video spokesperson or something like that, and you'll find, again, tons of examples, sort by highest rated, of people that can be your spokesperson. And again, same rules apply. Look for someone that's going to meet your market. You know, old, young, Hispanic, Japanese, looks like a doctor, looks like a nurse. I mean, you'll find people that'll dress up in, you know, as a frog and do your video scripts. So you can pretty much find whatever you're looking for on Fiverr for this. So if you do spokesperson, then you're going to have a video of somebody probably on a white background, you know, because they're going to record that for you. So
hey Brian,
yeah.
We just got to pick it up a little bit. We're running out of time. I wanted to bring on a couple more people.
Once you have your voiceover or your what do you call it, spokesperson video, all you got to do, all that's left is creating the actual video that you're going to run on YouTube, and you can go back to Fiverr and just look for video editor, and you'll find all kinds of options for people to take either your voiceover audio file or your spokesperson video and create your final look for your video. And there's all kinds of styles there, and you'll see what's out there if you just type in video editor. And all that together is going to cost you around $40 to $50 per video.
All right, awesome. Sorry to speed you along. I know we only got you for a little longer, so I want to get a couple more hot seats in. Well, we got you here. So we got Yazin said he wants to be on a hot seat. So let's see what he's got. Hello, Yazin. I unmuted you. Are you there? Mm-hmm. All right. Nope. Okay. All right. Just message me in the Facebook, Yazin, if you have your mic back up. And then we had someone else, Mamado. I'm terrible at pronouncing these names.
That's close. It's got to be.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to unmute you because you said, Mamado, you want to do a hot seat. And so do you have a microphone? And are you ready? Just give me a yes in the question box. Okay. Hello, Mamado, is that correct? Is that the way you pronounce the name? Are you there?
Yes. Saying yes. We can't hear Mamado.
We can't hear you.
He's texting yes, but...
Yes. All right. Maybe your microphone is not hooked up. All right. So we're going to mute him. And Mamado, if you get your mic figured out, just let me know in the question box or, ask your question. Then I had someone else who had it.
I can help. Mamado kind of posted the issue that they're having here, which might be shared by others. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, and then I got Red here and wants to come on. So yeah, why don't we talk about that real quick, and then we'll bring Red on.
So Mamado has a fear of...
Oh wait, he says Mike is ready.
Okay, let's bring him on.
Let me see. All right, we're gonna give him one last shot, Mamado, and
Red.
and then we'll do Red. Okay, Mamadou, are you there? You have to unmute the mic on your side. I see it's still struck out there. Okay, there you go. You there, Mamadou?
Can you guys hear me?
All right, we got you.
Woo! All right. Hey guys,
Hey, Mamadou, welcome. Where are you calling in from?
Montreal, Canada.
Oh, nice. Great to have you.
Great to be on the webinar. Thanks for everything that you guys are doing for the community, though.
Hey, thanks for, you know what? Thanks for coming on. You know, I mean, we're glad we're helping. But when you guys come on these hot seats, man, it helps you, but it also helps everybody else. And I know you may be a little shy, but thanks for coming out of your comfort zone and coming on. So, you know, just let us know what it is. You know, what you having problems with.
Yeah. So I have a big issue. I know what it takes to succeed. I know that you have to work hard. I joined OMB through Baker in January. I never done SEO or nothing, or even tried to rank a website in my life before. But you know, it's been like since January now, like in my third, fourth month. My SEO website is like, I just got on the first page on like for term like best SEO in Montreal. I just got on first page. I mean, I started figuring things out. I had a great questioning session with Derek like a couple of weeks ago that really helped me out. I guess my biggest fear is that I feel like I always had the fear to go in front of people. I always felt like to be successful, I will have some way, somehow, to find the courage to go outside and knock on people's doors. And I just cannot make myself doing it. I work hard. I have like a 4-hour sleep. Just to put you in a picture, when I go even in the bathroom, I even bring my laptop with OMG stuff, and I'm all in. Like I try everything, but it's just like I have this fear that it doesn't matter. Even if I don't know, it's just something in my head. It's like even if I become like Montreal SEO, the first website, and I will still not be successful until I conquer that fear. And it's just like I just cannot. It doesn't matter what type of books that I read. I try personal development. I listen to what's his name? I listen to a lot of people, and it's just like I always got that fear, and I just don't know. Like I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but just like I just have to go out there and look for people, and then I'm always trying to find out a way to pay for advertisement, not to do that, but it seems like I got that thing in my head. It's like if I don't do it, I will never be successful. So I don't know, maybe I can get some help from you guys, maybe some advice on
Joe, I'm feeling a golden nugget here.
So this is kind of what Brian was gonna talk about.
And the golden nugget.
Let me before Brian talk, let me just tell you this, Mamadou. And when I first started, okay, I was just like you. I mean, you might say, well, this guy gets on webinars and he talks. I hated talking to people. I was definitely afraid of talking to people. You know, what if I fail? This and all those things. I did the same thing. So, but I'm going to let Brian, you know, take kind of comment here a little bit what he's going to talk about, and then because what he's going to tell you helped me out a lot.
I'm listening.
All right.
Mamadou.
Yes.
It's a great question and a concern that a lot of us have had and still have, even those that are successful. So you're not the only one. There's probably a whole bunch of people listening on this call that are feeling the same way. And If they aren't feeling the same way now, they have in the past. So, are you yet attending any kind of networking events up where you are at, like a chamber or anything like that?
I thought about it, and honestly, I didn't, because I was just, what I wanted to do first was to make sure that I'm able to do what I say I will do, basically rank somebody. I felt like if I couldn't rank a website, anywhere close to any SEO, if I couldn't beat or compete with the SEO in my town, what's the point? Go ahead and tell somebody that I can do that for them. That was my mentality going in. And now that I started getting to that point, I'm still, I'm thinking, I'm just trying to find anything that I can possibly do to get, to get that done. I will do, I guess. But yes, I thought about it, but I didn't do it yet. No.
Okay, great. So, again, this is a time to start taking some notes for those of you that or have something to write with. So this is for Mamadou and anybody else out there that either is currently attending or would like to attend a networking event like a chamber meeting or a BNI or a LaTip or a meetup group, or even just I don't know, a parent meeting at your kid's school. It might be for business networking. It could be anything where people are exchanging information. It could be a cocktail hour, whatever, where business people are, supposedly trying to help each other out to generate business. I have a 4-question process and an action that I take at every one of these meetings that I've ever been to. And this is how it goes. The first question's a low ball, right? Everybody asks this question. So it's easy to ask and it's easy to get an answer. Okay, ready? Number 1, what do you do? I know this is really complicated. Okay? All you got to do is ask somebody, hey, what do you do? Right? In your own words, in your own tone. Number 2, and then you just listen. All right? Number 2, you ask, how long have you been doing that? I know this is tough, okay? I'm trying to not make it tough, but how long have you been doing that? And then they answer, right? Again, easy to answer, easy to ask. Number 3, this is where you're going to start changing things up a bit. And you're going to stand out, and it's going to feel good, and you're going to get a great response. Great, hey, what do you love about doing that kind of work? So, I'll say again, what do you love about doing that kind of work? That's a really important question. It gets people to think. It opens up conversation. You'll get great responses to that. And just listen. And then the last question, this is key. This is where the rubber meets the road is, wow, that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that. When I'm out here meeting other business people in the area, how can I best identify who's going to make the best referral for you? I'll say that again. When I'm out there meeting other business owners in the area, can I best identify who will make the best referral for you? That is a question that you probably have not heard asked before. But I will tell you this now. I never go to a networking meeting to get business. I only go to get a referral source. And so to get a referral source, first you need to act like a referral source. And what's going to happen is they're going to tell you, well, yeah, the best referral is someone who's 45 years old and works in this kind of job and has at least $10,000 to spend. Great. I'll keep my ear to the ground for that for you. Right? And maybe you happen to know that. Maybe you happen to know somebody off the top of your head, but chances are you won't. That's okay. Just say, I got it. It makes a lot of sense. I'll keep my ear to the ground for you. Now, if they do not reciprocate that question back to you, they're not going to be a good referral source for you. So you can move on to the next person. If they ask you what would make a good referral for me, you better have an answer. So go in with an answer, right? And I can't tell you what the answer is because I don't know what you're going to sell. So that's why that goes back to how I was telling you guys to package your service ahead of time. So come up with an answer to that question so that you can answer that same question. or the same questions you just asked. And then you want to end the conversation, say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go out and keep networking and meeting some other people. If I find somebody that I think will make a good referral for you, I'll make sure to make that introduction. And then you end the conversation and move on. Move on to the next person. And just keep repeating this process over and over again. And hopefully you'll be able to make some connections right there live. Like you'll meet somebody else that might meet the referral specifications of someone else you met, and that's a perfect opportunity for you to just grab that person and say, hey, you know what? We can continue talking, but I think what would be more valuable is if I introduce you to Mary over here who's looking for someone just like you. Can I make that introduction? And they'll always say yes. So you take Bob over to Mary and say, Mary, this is Bob. Bob, this is Mary. I think you might have you might make a good business fit for each other. So I'm just going to make this introduction. Enjoy your conversation. Then you step away and you move on and meet somebody else. And you become the referral source for people in that room. And let them see that. And that's it. That's all I do when I go to networking meetings. That's all I've ever done. Well, I didn't start that way, but that's what I figured out was how to get success out of any of these meetings. That's it.
Yeah. Now, I mean, that's pretty golden nugget right there. I mean, how many people appreciate what Brian just said? Give me a 1 in the box here. Yeah. I mean that's what it's all about, right there. You just boiled it down, made it dead simple. Let me ask you this, Mahmoud. And Mahmoud, am I pronouncing your name right?
No.
Sorry, how do you pronounce it?
Wow, man.
Well, you tried though. That's good. You did. You were close the first time.
Okay, so
then the second time you just butchered it, but it's okay.
So how do you pronounce it?
It's a Mamadou.
Mamadou.
There you go.
Okay, perfect, Mamadou. Now, Mamadou, I can already tell, right, from having you on this call that you're a very likable and personable person.
Thank you.
So I don't think you're going to have any problems. And I actually, while you're talking, we had a lot of people who put in their comment box, that they've had the same issue, right? I mean, this is a common issue, is going out and talking to people. That's why everyone wants to make maybe an SEO site and hoping people call them. But sometimes you got to go out and you got to get out of your comfort zone. And it's like, that's how you grow, right? It's just like working out. You have to tear your muscle for it to get stronger. And just using those questions that Brian said, I mean, that's what I did when I went to these meetings. And I would have those questions, and I would almost play like the question game. You ever play that when you were a kid? I don't know if you ever played that, but it's where you ask somebody a question, they got to ask you back a question, and you just ask each other questions. But I would just think of questions to ask people, and as you're asking them the questions, like the ones that Brian brought out, okay, you'll find yourself becoming at ease, like calm, and you'll find the other person is talking, and usually they're talking a lot because they're talking about themselves, mm-hmm, and they're viewing you as someone who's an ally, who's interested in them, and the fear is gone. It really is, and so, but if you don't get out there and you don't do it, right, you're never going to experience that. So you have to go out and you just have to do it. Even if you went out and you practice talking to, I did this. I would talk to strangers. Like I would just start, because what I care, I was in Starbucks and sometimes it was really awkward conversation, but I didn't care. I wasn't going to see him again. And I would just have a conversation. I would start asking him questions, and it made me more comfortable. So, I would do that. I think it was in a book, there's some 4-hour work week. He talks a lot about that, about getting out of your comfort zone. And someone else here suggested Toastmasters. I mean, Toastmasters. Yeah, Brian, you ever done Toastmasters?
You know, I did, but I was too impatient. So what I did with Toastmasters is I used it like a BNI group, and
well, first, what is Toastmasters? Can you? I've never been there, but I know kind of about it. What is?
You go to you basically learn how to speak apparently more eloquently and more effectively as like a speaker or as a presenter in large or small audiences. And so, it's very structured, right? They even have this like buzzer that they buzz you if you say words like or ah. You know, it's very structured, and I am not a very structured person, so that whole thing did not fit very well with me. That said, the people that enroll themselves into Toastmasters were really good referral sources. So I did attend a number of Toastmaster meetings, although I fail miserably as a Toastmaster, and according to their rules, I was able to generate business from referral sources from Toastmasters.
Yeah, and I think too. So I mean, it's probably a good way too if you want to learn, like if you want to get out of your comfort zone too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing like standing up in front of a group of people getting buzzed.
Yeah. Is that what they did? They buzzed you?
Totally. It's horrible. It's like it's disastrous. But but the people there tend to be pretty high caliber. So they do know people there, and they can make good referral sources. And if you can laugh at yourself and not get all caught up in the buzzing and the all that kind of stuff, then go.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like with any of that stuff, it's only going to make you better, right? Like, so even if they're buzzing you, the way I view it is I don't even know these people, but what it's going to do, it's going to help you get more comfortable, and it's going to force you to. Right, because don't you get assignments in Toastmaster or something?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So it forces you to do it. Like a lot of times, we don't do what we fear, and we procrastinate, and until it gets to a point where it's too big. But if you're forced to do it, you're gonna hate doing it, and you're not gonna want to do it, and you're gonna hate it. You're gonna be sick all day. Then you're gonna do it, and then you're gonna feel awesome at the end. You're going to feel good, you're going to feel encouraged, and then it's just a building block. So we have over 100 people on this call, and I'm sure there's a lot of people on here right now that probably they want more business, right? They got bills they got to pay. There's a YouTube video I was going to post. I don't even know who the guy is. It's a song about paying bills. He's got bills to pay, and he's got to go work and make money. So the thing is you got to go out, and sometimes in the beginning you got to work for that money, right? You got to pay those bills, so you got to get out and you got to do it. I mean, there's the BNI, there's a chamber, there's all that things, and Brian just gave you that step process. I mean, it's simple, but it's what I use to get started, right? It works, and it gets you out of your comfort zone. So, Mamadou.
Yeah. Yes.
So I got, so now the purpose of this hot seats is we want to see a progression, right? We want you to come on, and we want to talk to you next week or in 2 weeks, and we want to see how you progress, and we're going to give you something to do.
Okay.
So, what do you think, Brian? Go to it.
I wonder what that could be.
Well, I think that was great. Really, thank you, Brian. I'm going to take that. I'm going to go straight ahead after this call. Go ahead and.
I did. Mamadou, I think you're breaking up there. Yeah. He says, I'm going to go do, and then that was Let me unmute you and see. Maybe it was just his internet. Let me see. Hey, are you there, Mamadou? All right. Okay. I think he has, you were coming in real garbled. So, here we go. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, Mamadou. I want you to type this in the question box. What do you think, Brian? Should we have him go to a Toastmasters?
You know, I don't care. Any networking group, where business people are networking, it could be Toastmasters, Chamber, whatever they have up in his area in Montreal. And I want him to go through and ask these 4 questions to at least 10 people before next week. So
I would go to a chamber if they have it in your area. That'd be the easiest. The first meetings are free. So what you have to do is you have to go to some meeting, whether it's a network meeting, chamber, BNI, and you got to ask those 4 questions to at least 10 people. And then I want to see how you feel afterwards.
And for extra credit, make at least 1 personal introduction with someone at that meeting, like I described, where you grab somebody and say, hey, I'd like to introduce you to this other person. I think you could make a great business fit together, and then step away. That's extra credit right there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is extra credit for sure. So I didn't even do that.
That's powerful. It's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, and it gives you the power,
yes.
Right? It's powerful. It's giving you the power is what it's doing.
That's exactly.
So you got it? So that's what you got to do, at least 1 chamber. And then next week, I want to know how it went, okay? And I would love it if you found a Toastmasters too. Just, if you found one in your area, but do this one thing and then we'll check it next week. So, and then anyone else who's having trouble with this, do the same thing, and if you go out and, you do this, you go to the chamber, I want to hear about it. I want to hear how it goes. And listen, I get about 50 messages a day in my Facebook, and I try to answer them all. I don't get to them all the time.
He usually doesn't get to mine. Is waste. Yeah.
That's it. But if you go out and you do this, and you message me, I will make time for you.
Yeah.
Personal time. Then I don't do that, okay? I'm probably going to, but if you go out and you make the effort and you meet 10 people, I will make the time for you. And you better have done it if you tell me you did it. And I will. So that's what I'm giving, okay? That's what I'm going to give you guys if you do this. So, I don't know what Brian's going to give, I don't.
I'll come up with something, I'm sure.
No. He's got. Oh, Brian, they're asking for your 4 questions. If we could write that down.
All right, I'll run through them quickly once more. All right, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Question 1: what do you do? That's it. It really is simple. Those that know me know I am a simpleton. I really am. So question 1, what do you do? Question 2, how long have you been doing fill in the blank? How long have you been a plumber? How long have you been a real estate agent? How long have you been selling tenant services? Whatever. That's it. How long have you been doing it? 3, what do you love about being a plumber? What do you love about trimming trees? What do you love about being a proctologist? Okay? Hopefully that can be a fun answer. So yeah, what do you love about being that or doing that? What do you love about it? That gets them talking. And it shows that you care. And last, which is the killer, is, hey, and make it, don't make it sound like a robot. Be a person. I'll say, hey, you know what? When I'm out here meeting people, how could I best know if I'm speaking to someone who's going to make a great referral for you? Kind of don't make it sound scripted. Make it sound like you're talking. Okay, so you could say it any way you want. So maybe practice this in front of the mirror a little bit. But that's the close question right there. Is you want to ask them that. Hey, you know, when I'm out here meeting other people, I'm out and about. How will I know if I'm talking to someone who makes the best referral for you? And then you're done. They'll either ask you questions or they won't. If they ask you questions, answer them. But then you want to move on and say, you know what, it's been a great conversation. Let me go out and see if I can find some referrals for you, and I'll see you around. And then just walk away. Boom. You know, separate yourself from the conversation. Meet somebody else. And then hopefully you'll be able to connect at least 2 people during that one networking event. And you probably will. You probably will.
All right. So hopefully you guys got that down.
Yeah, you're not going to these networking events to sell anything. You got to take that pressure off of you. And
that's huge.
Yeah,
that is huge.
You're not selling anything. I was talking to someone earlier on the phone who reached out and wanted me to help them out a little bit earlier today. And I said to this person, you know, I don't even bring business cards to these meetings because it's pointless. I'm only going to meet 1 or 2 people at any networking event, even if there's 300 people there that are worth like my time following up with later because they are actually of interest and care. And so for those people, I'm going to exchange cell phone information using my iPhone or that. I don't need a business card for that. So I just don't randomly hand out business cards so I can get on other people's mailing list. That to me is a total waste of time. But, you know, if you feel like you have to have a business card, I guess bring one. But I rarely ever hand out business cards like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, huh? Like, yeah, it's not like anyone's ever going to, you know, it's very rare someone's going to just.
And for God's sakes, this is huge. I got to say this right now. Do not be that guy or gal that comes in with your flyer and your marketing materials. Do not, under any circumstances, show up with that kind of stuff at a networking event. Okay? Don't do that. That makes you look like a lowball player. Okay? Really, it does. I like to walk in to these meetings holding nothing, my phone on vibrate or off in my pocket so no one even sees that I even care about communicating with the outside world. And I go in there with a mission, okay, to ask those 4 questions to as many people as I can. That's it. Period.
Yeah. And, you know, it was a complete mind shift for me when I went to those events and didn't have to sell anything.
Yeah. Don't
because
bring your marketing materials. Don't bring your cards. Leave your cell phone in the car if you need to. Just walk around and ask these questions. I swear, Joe is a perfect example. It works.
No, it works, and here's why it works, because you're different than everyone else at that meeting. Okay, everyone else at that, especially chamber, right? People are just trying to sell their stuff, and when you walk in there, you're not selling, you're not taking, right? Because what's that is you don't want to take, you want to give. When you give, you get back. So you go in there, you're not taking, you're giving, and you know you're giving, you're asking, you're interested in people. You like it just makes it so much easier because people will talk to you about themselves. That's why they're there, you know. And so no, I mean that's powerful. So look, if you guys don't have business right now, if you don't have a client, you know, instead of working on your SEO, ranking your SEO site, which I mean it's good, but you know, go out, hit the bricks, hit the pavement, and just go do it. And you'll get one, you know.
I'm gonna answer one more objection that I know some of you have right now in your mind. Okay, I'm gonna answer right now. Some of you are saying to yourselves, well, gosh, I've only been doing what I do for a few months, or I've never ranked a video or a website before. What am I going to say if they turn those questions around on me and ask, what do I do, and how long have I been doing it, and what do I love about it, right? I know some of you are freaking out internally. Oh, my gosh. What if someone asked me those questions, right? Okay, so here's how you solve that problem. Number one, it's baloney. It's a baloney problem. You're making it up. But here's how I would handle that. Honestly, right? Someone says to me, what do you do? Okay, well, pick a specific answer. What I do is I put my clients on the top of Google search results so that when their customers are looking on their mobile phone or computer, my client is the one who gets the call. Simple answer. Come up with something that you like, make it simple. Don't get into a whole lot of detail. Don't go into talking about the ins and outs of making videos or PBNs. My gosh, don't even get close to that. Number two, how long have you been doing it? You know, I just started focusing on this a few months ago. It's okay. Be real, okay? Number three, what do you love about it? You know, I love helping people. There are so many businesses out there that don't have a clue on how to generate and get exposure, generate leads and get exposure for themselves on devices that we use now, like mobile phones. They're stuff that they're lost because they don't know what to do without the yellow pages. And I love helping those people solve that problem. Okay? There's an answer for you. All right? So just don't make it a big deal. I mean, I don't know. Joe, am I wrong?
No, that's true. It's true. It's simple is best. I mean, one of the things that I would do is I wouldn't say a whole lot of anything. You know, I would, because my goal was to set up a meeting, which, you know, it's a lot to get into here, but it's like a strategic meeting where I want to set up a meeting with this person to see if we could trade referrals. And, you know, and I want to leave a little mystery about myself. If I start talking about, and I did it, I used to do it when I first started, you know, oh, I'm going to link this and I'm going to do that. I'm going to run you through Google and I'm going to do, you know, and to people that don't know what you're talking about, they tuned you out. As soon as you started getting techie, they tuned you out. But if you say something like Brian said, you know, I get my clients' leads. There was another one I used to use, and if I can remember how to say it right, I don't even know where I got this from. I think it was from Jody Underhill. But I used to tell people, you know, imagine the busiest road in San Diego. Now, imagine that you have the largest building with the biggest billboard, and everyone on that road wants what you're selling, okay? That's what I do for my clients online. And they're like, how do you do that? It's like, well, you know, we could set up a meeting, we could talk about it or something else. But it's like you give them just enough to be like, wow, this guy's different. And to like a network meeting, certain network meetings like BNI, or I was part of a network group. I was part of 6 network groups. So one of these groups, everyone would get up for 1 minute and explain their business. Or it was like something like, you know, and everyone would get up and be like, I'm Bob, I'm a plumber, and I'm the best plumber. I'm an attorney, I'm a defense attorney. and right? And I would just come up with these little quibs like that because people would remember me. You know, I wanted people to remember me for what I did and that I was unique. And it was stupid. There were stupid little things they would think about driving there, but it stuck out in their mind. So, yeah. All right. So, I don't know. I think that was good. That was definitely a golden nugget. That was more than a golden nugget. Doing what Brian said can really, it can transform your business and the position that you're in right now. All right. So, man, we're at over 2 hours right now. Platinum nugget. Brian,
All
Sean
right.
says he's platinum. So did George. George said platinum too.
Going platinum, baby.
Platinum it is. Thanks. Okay, Mamadou. That's right? Mamadou said, thanks, guys. Mamadou, you're welcome, and I'm telling you, we're going to hold you to it.
Here's the crazy thing, Joe. And we're just going to sideline conversation here for about 30 seconds. Here's the crazy thing. You and I both know that if anybody who's listening to this call, if all they did was every week engage in 10 of those conversations a week, those 4 questions, within a month, they would have $2,000 to $10,000 of revenue coming in, right?
Guaranteed.
Exactly, right? So
Guaranteed.
Right? So all this stuff about PBNs is great, and Money Robot, fantastic, and software tools, great. Okay, all this stuff's fantastic, and OMG is a great place for you to learn how to use all that stuff or get help in using that stuff. I love it. That's why I'm part of it. Okay, because I am not nearly as skilled technically as half of the people. I'm probably not as skilled as half of you, technically, but I know what gets the paycheck. I know what feeds my family. I know what gets me to my dreams, and it's clients that I like to work with. And I can go out, Joe can go out, you all on this call can go out into the great wide world and just engage these conversations with 10 people a week, and inside of a month, your whole life is going to change. It's just that simple. I don't know how to boil it down any other way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly it. And I mean, that's it. You can't really, that's it. I mean, when I started, that's what I did. I just went, you balls to the wall, I guess you could say. I was it. I said, I needed to make money. And I'm going to go to I was part of 6 groups. I mean, my wife, she's like, what are you doing? You got a girlfriend? Like, I was out every night, you know? And, you know, let me tell you, by the end of the second week, I was a pro. You know, I was at the chamber. I was a ambassador, right? Like, and I would join these. I was given lunch and learns. You know, I was doing all kinds of stuff, and you know, I was bringing in clients, and I was getting referrals, and I was making money, and so you know, that's it.
And God forbid you get a client and you don't know what to do with it. Message Joe.
Yeah.
Tell him. Dude,
Yeah.
I got a client. I'm freaking out. I don't know how to rank their website. Joe will help you. I promise.
Yeah. And you know, and so the thing is once you get them, and you know, I know a lot of times we talk about, oh, you know, client has to be $5,000 a month, this much a month. Look, if you get a client and it's ranking their video for $500 a month to get started, it is what it is. You got to start somewhere. I would rather have somebody paying me. You know, now you got to take this in context. Like, don't do a whole huge campaign for $500 and you're losing money. But like, I would rather somebody pay me to rank their video or website than me have to build my own site and not make any money till it's ranked. And now I know a lot of people know I do lead gen, and I make a lot of money with lead gen, but I make a lot of money with client consulting that allows me to make money, that allowed me to build my lead gen business. If you need money now, and you need money now, you get a client, set up your business, then you can do, you know, then move on. You know, if you don't need it now, you do lead gen, you can. It'll take you a few months, but if you need it now, this is what you do. And let me tell you, when you have to do something, and that's why that Toastmasters is so good, you will do it. If you have a client and you got to rank their site, and you, guess what? You're going to do it. You're not going to be on Facebook seeing what Johnny Joe had for lunch. You know, you're going to be doing this stuff. So, you know, that's it. And I don't think, look, if you get a client and you don't know what to do, there's so many people here to help you. I'm here to help you. There's Fletch is here. There's people in the group, people there all over. So, you know, but you got to get the client first. So, all right. Well, let's, I think we're about done. I think everyone's brain's probably fried. I'm out of water.
Drinking water tonight? Why? Going light?
Well, I'll have the whiskey after.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But so all right, let's let me see. All right, I mean, that's it. So hopefully this helped you guys. If there's let me just do this. I got about 10 minutes. If you guys have any urgent questions, just drop them in the question box right now, and I'll answer them. I know I didn't get to all the questions. It's just impossible sometimes. Paul asked about Facebook for lead gen. You know, I just do it as a business or a place. You know, I just set my Facebook up as a local business if it's a lead gen. Someone's asking about traffic flow. Ask that one ask the traffic flow stuff on Network Empire. They're way better at it than me. Oh, shoot. Red, we supposed to bring Red on.
Oh, my gosh.
That's
still there?
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, let's do a few minutes with Red.
All right, we'll bring Red on. I'm sorry, I forgot about Red. Let me bring Red on, and I'm just going to hit a couple of these real quick. Can you recommend a WordPress designer? There's a lot of people on Facebook that do that. There's even a thread somewhere where people talk about what services they do. You're using Spire Spanker, yes.
If anybody needs a WordPress designer, let me know. I'll give you my personal designer.
Ben's been asking. Okay, yeah. Oh, do you hear that? So message Brian.
Yeah, just message me on Facebook. I'll turn you on to it.
Good, amazing. All right. So and then Ed Brancheau, BRANCHEAU. Ed says his sister does amazing work.
No,
but Brian too. So
either way, just get help.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I'm just reading these off. Okay, there is a link. OMG Service Exchange. I don't know if I can copy and paste this. Tom James, thanks Tom. And there's one here by real quick. This last one, and then I'll bring Red on. He's been asking this question, Ben, about retargeting. I know you had a really long question on retargeting. It's a little more, a lot to go in all these office hours. I'll ask David Mills about those videos. I don't know if he hasn't posted them. I'll check, see why he didn't post them yet. I'll make sure he posts them. If you're really interested in retargeting, do what me and Brian said. Go to AdRoll, sign up, get a rep. Go to Perfect Audience, sign up and get a rep. They can help walk you through a lot of the steps you need to do.
And just to that point, that's how a lot of us learn this stuff is, you don't wait for something to come out in OMG. Go sign up with AdRoll, get your rep, and they will spend hours on the phone with you helping you with this stuff. So, and then you'll build a relationship with someone there, and that relationship will be invaluable for you, especially as you start spending money and running ad campaigns with them. So,
yeah, and Sean, Brian's last name is Williams. It's Brian A. Williams.
Thank you for stopping there. Last time he gave out my home address, so.
I gave out a cell phone. You guys want that? All right. Let's so yeah, and just exactly what Brian said, Ben, is the way I learn stuff. How I learned to do retargeting is I just called people, the companies, and they walked me through it. It doesn't mean we're not going to have training on it. Just if it's not there and you got permanent questions, don't be afraid. I mean, you're spending money with them. They're going to show you how to use their system. All right, so let's bring Red on. And let's bring him on. Okay. Hey, Red, I just unmuted you. I don't know if you're still. Hey, how's it going, Red?
Good.
Where are you calling from, Red?
Philippines.
Awesome. What part?
Manila.
Oh, great.
Manila, all right.
So,
All right.
I have this website created last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Just kind of confused on what direction to take. So I mean, I have these testimonials and rankings, ranking proofs, and all this stuff. But kind of confused on what should I do. I mean, should I land local clients first, or should I try to get U.S. clients, or maybe focus on just one niche? I mean, what do you think?
So what was that you said you have? What was that first part? You said you have a site ranking already?
Yeah.
And what was the site on that you had ranking?
RagingLeads.com and
Oh, Raging Leads. Oh, you're Raging Leads. Okay.
yep.
And what's it ranking for?
I think that DFY social media management and kind of long tail keywords. I mean, easy keywords.
Okay. Are you getting traffic to the site?
No,
Okay.
but I have
Alright.
another website about LASIK surgery, LASIKsurgeryphilippines.com, but it's also ranking maybe second page for keywords.
I mean, let me ask you this. How can you get clients in your local area? I don't know the Philippines. I mean, do you have a way to acquire clients in the Philippines?
Not really. That's why I'm contemplating if I should focus on U.S. clients, trying, maybe if Facebook ads. I don't know.
I mean, what do you think, Brian?
So I just want to be clear. You want to do local client consulting, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and you want to do you want to have clients in the Philippines or outside the Philippines?
I want to focus on U.S. clients, higher profit, for a higher profit.
Perfect. So, one of the things I noticed on your website, 'cause I was looking at it earlier on in this webinar, is you have a lot of examples where you've got terms like I can't remember exactly, but I think it was like eye doctor Philippines or something like that.
Yes.
So I would definitely shift your branding, and that's really part of what terms to U.S. type terms. So, and it's okay not to have examples, by the way, on your website, but I would not put examples on your websites where you're ranking stuff for Philippine specific keywords, because that's not going to attract a U.S. customer. So, maybe if you want to do some result in advance examples, start to try to rank stuff in a known U.S. You don't have to do that, but if you want to show examples of something that people in the U.S. are going to identify with. It doesn't have to be necessarily the biggest city in the country, but just something in the U.S. Otherwise, just remove those stuff off your website so you don't confuse the American buyer. A little tidbit. Now, the second thing is, I mean, there's no reason why you cannot use and scrape or find, one of the easiest ways that I find customers where I don't meet them face to face is I go to Google, I type in a keyword of a niche that I like, and I look at who's paying for the advertising on Google that doesn't have anything ranked on page 1 or 2, and I just contact them cold and engage them in a conversation, and I'll ask pretty much the same questions I outlined earlier. Event. I mean, obviously you already know what they do, but you could start by saying, so how long have you been an eye doctor? What do you love about it? What kind, and instead of asking for referral sources, you would ask, who makes your best patient prospects? Who are you trying to attract the most of? And just start engaging in conversation. Just test this out with people, and when they ask you what you, so that you can stop paying Google advertising dollars and instead just dominate the search results. And that's one way to approach it. But look for people that are spending money on advertising on Google, especially because you're going to be from the Philippines. You may also consider, I don't know what your resources are, but you may want to consider using a U.S.-based
Hey, Brian, you there? You just cut out.
like based on the examples you have on your website that you're.
Hey, Brian.
The SEO.
Brian, you cut out. We heard U.S.-based, and then it cut out.
Yeah, you may want to find somebody in the OMG group that would bird dog deals for you and make the cold calls on your behalf, and you do the SEO tech work. Based on the examples you have on your website, you seem to have a pretty good handle, better than most on the SEO tech, and so maybe you'd be better suited finding somebody in the OMG group that can help get the deals done, and you handle all the SEO tech work on the back end. And I know Cotton started a thread the last couple of days, I want to say, where people are basically raising their hand and expressing what they do best, and a number of people are better at the sales aspects and really don't want to deal with the SEO tech side. So if you're more into the SEO tech side, you might be able to team up with somebody in OMG who can generate the business.
Yeah, and I put that link in the chat box too.
Perfect.
That thread. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Red. And two, I would say is, I mean, that's great advice right there. If you could partner with somebody. The other thing, there's other things you can do too, like the mobile, scraping for people who don't have mobile sites and emailing them. And, when people are out of the country, I don't always, I kind of tell people lead gen is good once you're started. But if you're out of the country, lead gen is something good too. If you can rank a website, you get it number one, you can partner with somebody, have them lease it out for you, or sell the leads. So, all right, well, good deal, man. Well, we went pretty long here, so I think we got just about everything covered. I'm just gonna see some last few questions. Awesome, thanks. All right, so, all right, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Frank asks, what is the best niche for high margin, long-term residual income, and how to rank fast with minimal budget? Man, wow. That's that's what everybody wants to know. What is the best? You just have to find a niche. I mean, we got some videos on finding a niche and different things like that. It's kind of hard to just say right off the top of the top of your head. So I think it was good. I want everyone to thank Brian because, man, he really, really gave us some good info. So maybe in the Facebook thread we can put a thanks Brian Williams in there just to show some appreciation. He didn't have to come on the webinar tonight, but he really likes giving. So all right, good. Yeah, we got getting a bunch of thank yous in the chat box here, and if you could throw it in the Facebook, that'd be great. And that's it, guys. We're wrapped up. We're gonna do another Hot Seat Thursday next week. So if you didn't get on, message me. We'll get you on, and we'll. I know we had probably 1,000 questions roll through this chat box. So if I missed your question, I am sorry, but thanks for coming on, guys. And Brian, you got any last words?
No, just live large, have a great weekend. I'm going to be dark for 3 days because I'm in a lifestyle business like all of you. I'm heading out 6 a.m. tomorrow morning to backpack for 3 days with my son and the Boy Scout troop that I'm the Scoutmaster for, so I'm going to be without any internet access for 3 whole days, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome, man. That's great. I'm doing some hot yoga tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
Because my wife got she signed me up. She's going too, so we're going to be doing some hot
right.
yoga.
Well, that's a great visual. Me visualizing you doing hot yoga, John. I appreciate that.
I want to leave everybody with that.
I'm glad you ended on a high note.
I want to leave everybody with that word picture.
That's awesome. That's great. That's just great.
All right. All right, guys. Hey, man, thanks for coming. You know, we had over 100 people, and just about everybody stayed. So, thank you guys for coming, and we will catch you later. All right. let's